Today we're in Robe, South Australia, and we're looking at the new Lady of the Lake from Tempting Wines. It's a Pinot Gris from Mount Gambier. Mount Gambier is a very unknown region here in South Australia, and this is, as far as we're aware, the first Pinot Gris that's labelled Mount Gambier from that region. So it's quite exciting for us. Now the difference between Gris and Grigio is that Grigio is a lot earlier pick style, and it's similar to the Italian styles, which is Grigio is Italian for grey, whereas Gris, which is the French style, again that's French for grey, is a lot later picked. You start getting these really oily characters. This can have this real honey effect to the wine. It'll be a lot deeper in colour, and the grapes, when you actually see them on the vineyard, is actually they are quite grey. So hence why it's Pinot Grey. So this one is a Grigio, a Gris, but it's still a very austere version of Gris. So it doesn't have that oiliness yet. It's very light in colour. You'll quite often find that Gris will almost look like a Chardonnay in colour. They'll impart a lot more colour from the skin as they stay on the vine a little bit longer. So this one just has a very slight tinge of colour to it. As it is, the grey from the skins, we try and get the skins off as fast as possible because we want the flavours from the flesh and not the skins, unlike red wines. So this one's very cool climate, Mount Gambier fruits. Mount Gambier is the coolest region in mainland Australia, and this one certainly shows. So the flavours in this wine has a real nashy pear character. It's still very fresh, so it doesn't have much of that honey characters, but I think you'll find as this wine ages a little bit, in about 6 months you're going to start seeing these really nice buttery characters, which are just going to bring in a lot more complexity to the wine that is already pretty good. Now, the region that's from Mount Gambier is, I mentioned, it's the coolest wine region in mainland Australia. It has the lowest mean maximum average of any wine region in mainland Australia, with a mean temperature of 18.9. And what that means is that it doesn't get too hot for the grapes. Once a vineyard gets over 35 degrees, it will shut down, so you won't get flavours developed. And what we want is also not for it to get too cold, because we don't want a frost. If you get a frost, you can kiss your crop goodbye. But below 13 degrees, you'll also find that the vines develop very slowly, so can also inhibit those flavours. So what we want is somewhere between the 13 and the 20 degrees or 25 degrees will make for a perfect wine. So here's cheers.